Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Zachary Hall, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker, and we have our first official tornado our first official tornado warning polygon that is in the state of Arkansas, and it includes a small section of Sevier County. So we're going to take a look at that. We also have by the way, I do want to let everyone know, obviously I live in Arkansas too. I live in Western Arkansas. It's storming like crazy outside, so if I lose power, the stream could cut off. I'll have the stream up as fast as possible if that does occur. Let's hope it doesn't happen, but it could. You might hear the thunder outside. It's storming pretty bad here. Two main concerns right now in the short term. It's 4:26 p.m. This storm developing supercell west of Little Rock near Hot Springs Village. This is an extremely dangerous thunderstorm. If it is able to mature correctly and turn to the right a little bit and really take advantage of the parameter space that we have in play in central Arkansas, specifically near the Little Rock area, the I-40 corridor in general, this storm near Hot Springs Village could have significant downstream impacts in the form of tornadoes, possibly strong tornadoes. There's no tornado warning on it yet. It's just a severe thunderstorm warning here near Hot Springs Village. But I was looking at it earlier, and you can tell it's already attempting to rotate a little bit. Nothing too crazy. It's still in its maturing process. But if that storm is able to mature correctly and grow, that will be something that we'll have to watch very close. Looking out area-wide, Northeast Texas has already observed numerous tornadoes. Southeast Oklahoma as well has had some tornado warnings. So, folks, this line, or this just bunch of storms, these broken line of storms, is going to continue moving into western and southwestern Arkansas with time, and we're going to have more tornado warnings. And we do have a tornado warning right now. This is our first warning of the day, technically. That does include some part of Arkansas, and it includes areas just west of D Queen, southwest of Gillum. And it's for a circulation here just south of Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Not the greatest... hear the thunder outside. Not the greatest part of the country for radar coverage. It's very difficult to see much here, but the circulation is buried down here. And we'll be headed for areas north and west of D Queen and Gillum, possibly eventually southern Polk County. There's also another tornado warning just to the west of Mena, southwest of Mena, near Smithville, Oklahoma. If you go south out of Mena, like you're going to Hatfield and Cove, you can take a west. I don't remember what the name of that highway is out of Cove. If you go west into Oklahoma, it's right on the border. But there's a circulation here south of Smithville, Oklahoma, that could impact Polk County as well. So we're just getting started, 4:30 p.m. Really not sure how this is all going to unfold. Things have kind of unfolded how I thought they would so far. I think from now through around 8 to 9 p.m. is going to be our peak severe weather episode. So it's probably really, really noisy if you live anywhere near Fort Smith right now. I live kind of in this area. Sebastian County and Franklin County were added to the tornado watches. But in my opinion, the storms near and around Fort Smith are not tornadic at this time. I think the biggest concern is to your east and to your south. It's also storming in northwest Arkansas. There's hardly any, if any, tornado risk whatsoever. And then these storms up to the north are loud and have been of note today. But the tornado threat up here for the short term isn't incredibly high. The worst of it is to the south as the warm front continues to lift to the north. This storm, though, I would say is certainly concerning. Whenever they went ahead and issued the severe thunderstorm warning, I almost went ahead and just got on them, but I wanted to wait and see what happens. I've been sick today and I do not feel well, so I'm trying to avoid overdoing things. But there's still quite a bit of lightning on the storm. If you live in Hot Springs Village, you should certainly be inside. If you live anywhere around Hot Springs Village, it's a dangerous thunderstorm. For areas south of Little Rock, we have... At times, we've had storms attempt to develop here along an area, a confluence band here to the west of Little Rock, southwest of Little Rock, and to the east of the main line of storms we're dealing with here in Oklahoma and Texas. But no such luck on anything going too crazy yet, but we're really just getting started. So I feel like for the short term, this is probably our most dangerous storm. We'll see how that evolves. And then, of course, we have the tornado warnings here. There was a tornado earlier near Clarksville, Texas, which is in northeast Texas. And all of these storms In western Arkansas down to southeast Oklahoma and northeast Texas, this line will continue moving east today with time. And if best case scenario, in my opinion, is that warm sector supercells like this one near Hot Springs struggle and don't do anything. That would be top-notch good stuff for us. The problem is the environment's going to become even more conducive for tornadoes with time this evening, here over the next 3 to 4 hours. And this big line of storms here, broken segment of storms, is going to continue east into that favorable environment, which means that it really doesn't matter. I mean, the open warm sector supercells is one; it's a beast of its own, but the storms to the west could be big problem makers eventually too. This is the main line here, from northwest Arkansas all the way down to Tyler, Texas. Several tornado warnings down here. That line's going to continue east, so we'll just have to see what happens with it. And I want people to understand, in my opinion, the forecast, nothing has really changed. I feel like we're right on schedule. It's 4:30. I've been saying for a couple of days now, I felt like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. is our window. Around 2 p.m. is when we started to notice developments. We're now 2 hours into that. It's 4 p.m. and we're starting to notice more issues. Our first tornado warning of the day, that includes a part of Arkansas. Our first isolated activity, severe thunderstorm warnings of the day. I feel like as we go through time, through the next couple of hours, these concerns are going to continue to grow. I do have some storm chasers that I'll be working with today. I have several actually. The first one that I want to show you here is Frankie Shepard and Zach Hardcastle. Of course, many of you are probably familiar with Frankie. I used to chase with Frankie all the time. And I'm not sure exactly where Zach and Frankie are right now, but if you look closely, you can see the low-level clouds are racing from right to left. That's the low-level jet transporting all sorts of storm fuel into the region today, helping transport all sorts of storm fuel ready to go. So that's a neat view from Zach and Frankie. You can see the trees kind of blowing from right to left there. If I had a guess, and I spoke with Frankie earlier, I'll check my text. I don't know if I have. So it looks like Frankie and Zach are near Valonia right now on Highway 64. They are in Valonia off Highway 64. So Zach and Frankie are here. Zach Hardcastle and Frankie are there, keeping an eye on this storm and maintaining this position in case this storm decides to mature and take a right turn towards Conway, Maumelle, eventually Valonia, and so on. So we'll be in touch with Zach and Frankie through time this afternoon. It is storming like crazy outside of my house right now. I can see it out the window. It is a mess. Hoping and praying I don't lose power, because if I do, my stream will briefly go down, but as soon as it comes back on, I'll get the power back on. I do want to remind everyone the reason why I came on live. Obviously, we still have just a little bit of time, but we have a circulation down here near Idabel that has parts of Sevier County included, specifically areas just northwest of DeQueen, near Gillum. So if you live anywhere near DeQueen or Gillum, just know there's a circulation to your southwest near Idabel that's moving off to the east-northeast. If you live in southern Polk County, you need to be paying attention to this storm. If you live in Wicks or Grannis, maybe as far north as Vandervoot. And then we have another circulation here near Smithville, Oklahoma that could eventually impact Polk County, and that does include the city of Mena and points in between north and south. That polygon has not been expanded into Arkansas yet. If you live in Fort Smith, if you live in Greenwood, if you live in Hackett, Mansfield, Charleston, Lavaca, lots of heavy storms right now, but I think the tornado risk is a little bit lower there. I feel like the worst of the tornado risk is to your south and to your east right now. And we also have a new severe thunderstorm warning that includes parts of Searcy County and northern Van Buren County, sorry, had a brain fart for just a second, for this severe thunderstorm that's north of Hector, and that will eventually include places like Marshall and Leslie, so on Highway 65. It is raining so hard outside. Sorry guys, my mom is texting me. They're at a visitation tonight, a funeral visitation, and it is storming like crazy where they are. They just want to make sure they're okay. So making sure my mama's informed. I don't really know what to make about this storm near Hot Springs Village. Certainly still young. Needs to be watched real close. The rotation on it there looks like it's struggling some, which is a great sign. I kind of wonder if this one's going to need a little bit of help. We also have this new development near Bigelow now, this little baby supercell. Look how cute this thing is. Might not be very cute here in a little bit, but small little supercell, quite a bit of lightning firing off of it. We'll look at the echo tops on it and see how tall this storm has. The Hot Springs Village storm is over 53,000 feet. That's a mature storm. The one up to the north, 53,000 feet. The one near Bigelow, 40,000 feet. So we are observing in real time, kind of like we did on Wednesday, guys. We are observing in real time these storms going through the maturation process where they go from nothing to something. Sometimes it takes a while, even in environments that are volatile, such as today. We have a new tornado warning that extends well into Arkansas here, just north of Texarkana, so we'll go over that. So if you're watching and you live, this is a very dangerous storm too as well. If you live in Little River or Sevier County, first of all, if you live in Sevier County, you have two polygons now extending into your county. You've got this one here near Idabel, so this circulation headed up near DeQueen. And then you have another very dangerous circulation here near Avery and Anona, which is in Texas, but it will be moving into Arkansas soon. This includes Foreman. This includes Horatio. We'll take a look at this circulation too and go over it together. If I'm not mistaken, this storm up here produced a tornado in Clarksville, Texas. I'm not sure about the storm to the southeast of Clarksville, Texas. That's where the new circulation is that's moving into Winthrop. It'll move towards Foreman, Wilton, eventually possibly Locksburg, Horatio, Ben Lomond. I'm going to go over... there's my map. Golly, guys, I'm just out of it right now. So I'm going to get a little bit more in specific detail for you guys. We'll start with the top storm here. So this is a really dangerous circulation and has a history of producing tornadoes here near Idabel, Oklahoma. And this is moving off to the east-northeast into southwest Arkansas and northwestern Sevier County. Obviously DeQueen and Gillum, those are notable spots on the map that are listed, but this includes places like Grannis. It does not include Grannis. It includes Avon, Oak Grove use area. If you're anywhere near the Oak Grove campground, you should be sheltered. If you live near the King's Schoolhouse, if you live near Mineral, you should be sheltered. And then for our southern circulation, which is down here, and that's going to be moving off towards Little River and southern Sevier County, we have quite a bit to reference here. Arkinda, Eline, Arden, Wallace, Foreman, Rocky Comfort. If you live anywhere on Highway 71 from Locksburg down to Ben Lomond or to Wilton, this does not include at this time the city of Ashdown. But it does include Arden, 234 and 108, which goes from Wilton back over to Foreman. This does include you should be sheltered. If you live anywhere off 234 from Eline to Winthrop, you should also be sheltered. So hopefully that gives you guys some reference marks there in southwestern and western sections of Little River County, southern and southwestern sections of Sevier County as well. Very dangerous circulation here in Texas still, just southwest of Gilmer. Folks, that's eventually going to move up into southwest Arkansas. So everything that Texas is dealing with, I figured we would probably catch the brunt end eventually, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. And these storms are moving pretty quick. So just to kind of reset, some of you are probably joining late. That's okay. We've got some storms up here in northeast Arkansas that don't have warnings. We have a severe thunderstorm warning here in northern Arkansas. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings here that are west and northwest of Little Rock, near Conway, Hot Springs Village. And we have 3 tornado warnings that we're watching here that are moving into southwest Arkansas. And then we've got a blob of nasty tornado warnings down here that are eventually going to move off into Arkansas too. So lots going on. It's going to get real busy here over the next 3 to 4 hours. So it's pivotal that you stay up to date on the weather where you live. And then we have thunderstorms ongoing now over Fort Smith, Greenwood, the Poto area, Barling, Lavaca. These are not severe at this time, but they are very noisy. I can tell you they're noisy because outside I can hear them. I think I'm going to avoid the worst of the tornado problems where I live today, which I'm very thankful for. I did not want to get blown away by a tornado while I'm doing live coverage. So that's a win, I guess. Hopefully we can avoid more tornadoes for the rest of the state. We just talked about these 2 storms a few moments ago. These storms, in my opinion, are extremely dangerous. These are what we call open warm sector supercells. We have a developing storm here near Hot Springs Village, another one near Bigelow. Classic supercellular shape. Really interesting to watch these things evolve. It's also noteworthy to say there's no telling what happens with this little group. It's possible this storm tries to ingest this one, and that could make things go crazy. It could also hurt the storm. There's a lot of theories on merger storms and how that happens. But the Bigelow storm is certainly concerning here. Let's go down and look at the rotation on the Bigelow storm and see what it looks like. This is still a younger storm. Looks like there might be a little something there. I have some storm chasers today, Frankie Shepard and Zachary Hardcastle. I've chased with both of them in the past. They do a great job. They will be working with me today and providing live coverage along with a few other chasers as well. It looks like Zach and Frankie are headed off down Highway 64. If I had a guess, I would say that they are likely headed for that storm near Bigelow. So Zach and Frankie were earlier, they were on in Valonia on Highway 64. I'm guessing they are probably headed west here towards Conway to get in front of these storms. These 2 storms are big time problems, I think, in the future. I'm just hoping and praying I can get through the storms here so we can go on with coverage for the evening uninterrupted. And I want to reiterate, if you miss the open warm sector developments, we might have some more here near Arkadelphia. We could have another round of significant storms here as storms move into a more favorable environment with time this evening. So, and this goes for a large chunk of the state. I mean, pretty much, this is kind of the way I see it right now. This section of the state, the severe weather risk is very high through this evening. Northwest Arkansas, far west central Arkansas, southeast Arkansas probably misses most of this, the severe weather side. But anyone living in between the blue lines, if you're watching this and you're curious, there's your answer. And this goes all the way up to northeast Arkansas. You're under tornado watches as far northeast as Clay County, Craighead County, Jonesboro, Paragould. And it goes all the way down to Little Rock. We have tornado watches that expand well down to the southwest to Texarkana. So we're just getting started. It's pretty early in the day, 4:45. So getting close to that 5 p.m., that 5 to 7 p.m. hour, sometimes on a big tornado day can be somewhat magical for storms to really It's almost like they go through their maturing process, and that 5 to 7 p.m. hour in April, maybe sometimes in May, is when they finally click. So hopefully that doesn't happen with these supercells that have formed over central Arkansas. We need these storms to struggle and to die. Yeah, Crystal. Yeah, Sebastian County and Franklin County were added late to the tornado watch. I was a little surprised to see Sebastian and Franklin be added. I feel like the tornado threat has went down quite a bit in that area, but maybe it was a precautionary warning. Who knows? Weather has a mind of its own sometimes. The Bigelow storm might be the most concerning short term compared to the Hot Spring storm. I don't know. If you're in Menifee, if you live in Worcester, if you live in Greenbrier, up to Damascus, so if you live in northern sections of Faulkner County, and if you live in southeastern and eastern sections of Conway County, you have a severe thunderstorm, a supercell. It's a developing supercell headed north, east-northeast right now. Both of these storms need to be watched in the short term for significant tornado potential. Frankie just sent me a message and said they're headed to sit at in Greenbrier to give themselves a better chance of being in position to intercept these two storms. So we'll check in with Zach and Frankie and their stream here in just a little bit. I do want to come back down, and we need to go back over our tornado warnings in southwest Arkansas. It looks like we've got a confirmed tornado in northeast Texas. That's not a threat to Arkansas in the short term, but it could be here in a little while, and that does include places like Texarkana and Ashdown and Hope eventually. But I really want everyone in Foreman to be in your shelters. If you live in Foreman, if you live in Winthrop, Ben Lomond, Wilton, if you live in southern sections of Sevier County, so Horatio and Locksburg, there's an extremely dangerous supercell to your southwest that's headed your way. The forward speed on this storm is 40. So not incredibly fast, not as fast as the other day, but this thing's still moving at a pretty good clip. 40 miles an hour. And then we have another circulation up here to the north that's warned for western and northwestern sections of Sevier County. Right here. And that storm has a history of producing tornadoes. I do wonder how this chunk of storms evolves. And then we have another tornado warning up here not far from Polk County. I'm not sure if they're going to continue that warning into Polk County yet. Might not be necessary, judging by the way that looks. I don't know. We'll see. No warning for Polk County, though, at this time, as of 4:48 p.m. I don't like the way this is looking, though. That is alarming. I apologize if I get a little quiet today, sound a little off, guys. I've been sick all day. I don't know if I'm just exhausted from the last few days or what, but it has not been a fun afternoon for me. Real concerned about these two storms. Hopefully these things struggle. Man, we need them to struggle. We can go back up here and look at the severe thunderstorm here in north central Arkansas too. Specifically for Marshall and Leslie. This might be a problem too, guys. There's some rotation on that. I'll have to see what the position of the boundary is and see what that storm... I haven't had a chance to look in just a second. I don't know. That storm might be... That might be a little bit too far north. Still wouldn't take it for granted. If you live in Marshall and Leslie, I would certainly be watching that storm to your southwest, headed for 65. There's a circulation on it, but this could just be a mid-level circulation that doesn't really have any surface attributes to it, where there's actually a tornado on the ground. Sorry about my chair, guys. This chair is loud. So we'll keep an eye on that storm too. And then we have some storms up here near Walnut Ridge, Maynard, Pocahontas. Those are not severe at this time. I don't like the way this storm looks. Echo tops aren't as tall as they were earlier. Wonder if that would be the same if I looked at it from a different radar, though. Yeah. But folks, the reason why I'm live right now and on air is because of the tornado warnings in southwest Arkansas. We've got 2 of them. Let's switch back to Shreveport. And I'm very concerned about the long-term potential of these storms. I feel like the environment today will become more conducive with time this evening. We're just now getting to 5 o'clock. These storms that are in southwest Arkansas and producing tornado warnings are going to continue off to the east-northeast. And this is not a squall line of storms. These are embedded individual segments with supercellular mode, which, in my opinion, promotes much higher tornado potential than normal. Maybe storms turn messy later. That would be great, because if it does, I feel like the tornado risk would go down some. But for the short term, it's not that way. It might look that way on radar to the untrained eye, but when you actually look at the storms and decipher the cellular mode that they're going through, it's concerning. I know a lot of this might sound like just a lot of chatter, but we really need to watch these storms in southwest Arkansas. I know that these storms up in Little Rock or near Little Rock are concerning. These 2 storms specifically are concerning. But right now they don't have tornado warnings. We'll see what happens with those. I really want to make sure everyone down in southwest Arkansas is getting the proper information. Such a horrible spot for radar data. It's almost impossible to see anything down here. I really want to emphasize the circulation buried back in here. Anybody in Foreman, if you're watching this, if you know someone in Foreman, if you know somebody who lives in Winthrop, if you know anyone who lives in western sections of Little River County, Wilton, if you know anybody that lives in southern sections of Sevier County or northwestern sections of Sevier County, and give them a call and let them know they're under a tornado warning in case they missed it. There's two warnings for this region. And then, not to be slept on, is the confirmed tornado near Holly Lake Ranch, Texas, Pittsburgh, Texas, and Gilmer. Folks, this is eventually going to move up into northeast Texas towards Texarkana and Ogden and Fulton. So Miller County, Little River County, maybe eventually Hempstead County. So we'll just keep that in mind. It's still got some time on that, but that's something we're going to have to watch as these storms move downstream. Giving everybody a reset, if you're just now joining the stream, we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in the state right now. We've got 1 in north central Arkansas, 1 near Conway, 1 here west of Little Rock. And then we have 2 tornado warnings here in southwest Arkansas that we're watching. Check my reports real quick on Facebook. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I've got people asking me where I'm located. Folks, I'm not sure what's going on in Mena with the Tornado Research Tower. I'm not a part of that, so I have no idea. have anything. Sometimes Twitter is great. People tag me on a lot of stuff on Twitter. We did have some rotating wall clouds earlier in Jackson and parts of White County. There was no tornado warnings ever issued on those. But I had some reports of that earlier on Twitter. Seems like a lot of storm chasers are down here. You know, we have a fair share in central Arkansas, but a lot were in northeast Texas today, which makes sense. Western Arkansas in general, especially southwest Arkansas, can be very challenging to storm chase in. Yeah, these storms look like they're struggling. The Bigelow storm, Plummerville, and the one that's moving away from Hot Springs Village both look like they're struggling right now. Which is a great sign. Hopefully that trend continues. We have more developments down here, so we'll have to see what happens with that. The storms that are moving through western Arkansas, like by Fort Smith and Greenwood down to Waldron, those are just messy storms, guys. There's not really a whole lot of tornado risk at all with that. The boundaries kind of positioned on the line or just to the south. That's why I was surprised they added Sebastian and Franklin to the tornado watches. I didn't really see it. It just didn't make it that far north today, which is a great thing. A little bit different down in southwest Arkansas. Just got a continuation warning on the storm here. So I'm safe. I'm hearing it's storming outside, but I'm safe. For those of you who are just now joining, specifically if you're getting tornado warnings on your phone, it's due to these storms in southwest Arkansas. And this does include western sections of Little River County and south sections of Sevier County and northwestern sections of Sevier County. So Foreman, Wilton, Locksburg, Horatio, DeQueen, areas west of DeQueen, near Gillum, are both under a tornado warning. Haley, it's not going to get bad in Greenwood. We were just talking about that. The severe weather risk in Greenwood's pretty low. It's storming in Greenwood right now. And better conditions are south of that area. We have two circulations here that are moving off to the east-northeast. You can see it's kind of hard to see what we're talking about here, but this and then this is the concern. I don't have confirmation of anything being on the ground. So we're just going to have to kind of watch these as they move off to the east-northeast. Certainly the radar appearance, to me, and I'm just from a reflectivity advantage standpoint, I kind of wonder if with time, the southern section of this complex, specifically right here, will become the more dominant side and cause us problems as it moves off to the east-northeast towards Dirks, Nashville, Murfreesboro, Daisy, Glenwood, and I'm just thinking well ahead. And I'm already thinking well ahead with this storm down here that has a confirmed tornado on it near Hughes Springs, Texas. That could eventually impact Texarkana, Ogden, Fulton, Miller County, more of Little River County, Hempstead County, and so on. Sounds like my kiddos are home. I hear a little boy coughing. Great news, guys. They dropped the severe thunderstorm warning on the Hot Springs Village storm. That is just fantastic news, because that storm had me nervous. They still have it on the storm near Menifee there in Conway and Faulkner counties, but thus far we are winning the war against open warm sector supercells. Unfortunately, we've got more activity You can kind of see it here. I'm terrible at drawing. You can kind of see this activity kind of developing through here. So we'll see what happens near Glenwood, Midway, Arkadelphia, and to see if those are able to form. We'll hear with time. No, Jonesboro's not in the clear. Yeah, no. Got a long night, guys. For those of you who perhaps just now joining, getting on the live, just to kind of give you a heads up, if you live, let's go like this. I don't even want to say you're necessarily in the clear up here because you could still have strong storms. I'm talking more of tornado chances, but the risk down here might be a little bit lower due to the system positioning. But if you live anywhere in between these two lines, and it's just a rough drawing, it's not going to be exactly perfect, you have a severe weather risk tonight. Clarksville, Russellville, Danville, Hot Springs, Malvern, Arkadelphia, Pine Bluff, Little Rock, Searcy, Heber Springs, Batesville, Jonesboro, Paragould. You have a severe weather risk through this evening. I mean, we literally are just getting started. We're just now getting our first round of warm sector supercells trying to fire up and mature. Hasn't been the greatest for them, which is just a great thing. The problem is, no matter if we have the open warm sector supercells, we still have this. We have all kinds of activity here that with time can move to the east. I don't want to get too comforted seeing the activity here. We only have 2 tornado warnings right now, which is great. Hopefully we don't have any more, but my hope is that with time these storms move east and maybe the storm mode catches up with them and they stay messy. Hear the thunder outside my house. This, though, my foreman people need to be sheltered. Okay, if you live in Foreman or Horatio, you need to be sheltered. This is a dangerous storm. Tough to see anything on velocity with the range folding going on the purple. But just looking at it from a reflectivity appearance, this looks like a really stout supercell. You can see, looking at reflectivity, you can see the inflow notch here. So this storm is certainly ingesting all sorts of fuel as it trains off to the east-northeast around 40 to 45 miles an hour. We have the other warning too for northwestern sections of Sevier County. Yeah, these storms are dying. Maybe cycling. Maybe dying is not the correct word. Going through a cycling process. This storm, I will say, we can watch it in loop. Does look like it's starting to reorganize. Notice the spike in lightning activity here near Perryville. You can see the skeleton of the supercell. You've got the inflow notch back here. What's left of a forward flank. The lightning is starting to pick back up. I wouldn't be surprised if the rainfall tries to pick back up. And I do wonder if the reason why it went through the weakening trend is because it ingested this right here. See this? Developing supercell has kind of went away. Perhaps it's ingesting the storm to the northeast. Sometimes when these supercells ingest other storms and pretty much swallow them up, it can make them do weird things. Sometimes it can kill them. Sometimes it can make them stronger. So, interesting to note, but let's go ahead and hop back down to our tornado warned storms. I would love to see what this looks like, this leading edge on this supercell. I would love to be sitting in Locksburg, Arkansas right now and looking off to my southwest. I'm sure this is a really neat looking storm. Dangerous storm, but neat. Tough in radar land though. But the circulation is still here southwest of Foreman. And then we have another one up to the northwest, west of D Queen. There's definitely a hook. Houston, Bigelow. Keep an eye on this storm. It's an interesting look. It's pretty close to the radar site too. Looking downstream, just a heads up if this storm does decide to act up on us. Perryville, Houston, Bigelow, Plummerville, Worcester, Greenbrier, maybe even as far east as Conway. Let's keep an eye on the storm. I-40 travels right through that polygon from Atkins all the way to Mayflower. So if you're traveling, these storms are struggling right now to really get going, I'm thinking, due to a lack of ascent, a lack of lift. That doesn't mean that they won't continue to struggle. Just early premature. There's a severe thunderstorm warning too that's been issued for southern sections of Polk County. Let me switch over to my Fort Smith radar. That's not a good look. There's too much obstruction there, it looks like. I'm wondering if they're just going to allow that to expire. And they've got a severe thunderstorm warning that's south of Mena down to Wicks and Grannis. So south sections of Polk County. The most southernmost sections of the county has a severe thunderstorm warning. Like if you're driving on 71, you go through Wicks, Grannis, and then eventually get to D Queen with time. I think the biggest concern for the short term is the circulation here that's about to be near Foreman, which is in Little River County. That's our only, this one and that one's our only two tornado warnings for the time being. We also have another tornado warning to north, so I'll have to go over and cover this real quick. We'll also talk about the severe thunderstorm warning in just a second here. Let's go ahead and talk about that. We have a severe thunderstorm warning near Pocahontas. It's northeast of Imboden, moving towards Maynard, Biggers, and that's moving off to the east, northeast. And we have a severe thunderstorm warning moving towards Marshall and Leslie. And we have a tornado warning that does include Clinton. So it's our first tornado warning outside of southwest Arkansas today. This is brand new information. For a circulation here, and this is going to move into this is in northern sections right now of Conway County. It's going to move into Van Buren County soon. So the circulation itself will likely head right for areas just north of Clinton. So Highway 65 between Leslie and Clinton. If you live anywhere between those two areas that I just mentioned, you should be sheltered or headed for your shelter soon. read the National Weather Service chat on this. I apologize for the noise from my chair. The National Weather Service in Little Rock has issued a tornado warning for central Van Buren County and north central Conway County, and this goes until 6 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Blick, or 14 miles north of Morrilton, so well up here. We just circled the circulation. Not moving incredibly fast, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. So, if you live in the community of Cleveland, Pleasant Grove, Scotland, Walnut Grove, or Clinton, you should be sheltered. If you live anywhere on Highway 95, Highway 95 runs west-southwest out of Clinton and takes you down to the Blick community near Lost Corner or Gobbler's Point. It's a pretty rural part of our state. Obviously, there's people that live here, though. If you live anywhere near the New Church Liberty of Christ, if you live areas west of Scotland, Arkansas, you have a circulation to your west-southwest that's moving northeast, east-northeast with time. It is 5:12 p.m. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't like to eat on stream, but I'm starving. I'm going to eat this meat stick right here. I have a feeling it's going to be a long night. I don't want to forget about our southwest Arkansas storm either. Now that we have that other warning, obviously opposite sides of the state. Looks like we got... Sorry guys, there's noise in the background. My kiddos are here, so I've got some young ones. We still have these two polygons, but the main one I think is here. But both of these sides, both polygons, certainly you need to be sheltered if you live in these areas. Foreman, you're running out of time. You need to be sheltered. Winthrop, you're running out of time. You need to be sheltered. We've got another tornado warning, too, that just came out. So now we have 4 tornado warnings on the board as of 5:10 p.m. And the new warning is, we were just looking at this. You could see it on velocity. There's 2 distinct circulations, okay? So there's a circulation here. And then there's a circulation here. Okay, the circulation to the north has a different polygon that goes all the way out to 56. So it goes all the way out to Stone County, an area that was hit significant with significant tornadoes under a month ago. So it doesn't include the city of Mountain View, but it does include 56. It does not include Big Flat at this time, but it could soon. If you live west of Mountain View, near Timbo, off Highway 66, this circulation impacts you. If you live in Bockenberg, you need to be sheltered soon. 65 intersects this warning. The circulation is here. You can see it. It's not super strong, but I think the circulation to the southwest is stronger, the one southwest of Clinton. 65 runs right here to Leslie. So if you're in Bockenberg on Highway 65, if you live on 16 West out of Clinton, the circulation is about to be right over you. If you live in Allred, Crabtree, Woolham. If you live in Plant or Arlberg, which is northeast of Botkenberg, you should be sheltered. And I'm still watching this storm here near Perryville. Bello, Houston has work to do. And we also have a developing storm here near Guy, west of Quitman. Severe thunderstorm warning in northeast Arkansas that could be producing some large hail near Pocahontas. So this includes Faulkner County and sections of Conway County. No tornado warning in Conway County or Faulkner County, though, at this time. The only two tornado warnings in this part of the state are these two here, these two polygons. Both circulations look distinct and like they mean business. I mean, if you live between Leslie and Clinton, I feel like I'm doing March 14th all over again because we had our start of that day in this region. We might have another circulation to the north near Leslie too. Don't see anything on the debris tracker, which tells me that they're don't have anything definitive. I don't know for sure if I have anything on the ground with these circulations. I want to come down here and touch base on our southwest Arkansas storm as well. This circulation is now on Foreman. Right in here. We have another circulation to the north near D Queen. Foreman, Winthrop, Ben Lomond, Locksburg, Horatio, D Queen need to be sheltered. Okay? You're running out of time. Circulation's moving in on you now. We'll see what they do with these with downstream warnings into Howard County, eventually into Pike County, and so on. But for now, I don't have any downstream warnings on those. I got a lot of people texting me right now while I'm live. Sorry guys, I can't be texting back right now. These people know me personally, but I understand. This storm near Bigelow, Houston, I'm not sure what to make of it right now. It's kind of gone back and forth. It looks like it's going to mature and organize, and then it dies, and then it does it again, then it dies. So I don't really know what to think about that. Our two most concerning storms in this part of the state are the ones we've been talking about here. These two, both of these circulations. This one here, southwest of Clinton, and then the other one northwest of Clinton. The one northwest of Clinton is about to cross 65. Botkenberg needs to be sheltered because this is going to be close. The northern circulation is going to be real close. This one right here. And then if you live anywhere near Clinton, you need to be sheltered due to that circulation. Looks like they did extend our other warning down here to the southwest, so we'll go over that real quick. It's a mean storm down here, folks. So they extended that warning that was in western sections of Sevier County into northern sections of Howard County. You can kind of see it here. It's tough to see, guys, that the radar site is not that great where we are. I'll probably just leave it on reflectivity, honestly. It's probably better off. We'll come back to my map. And we'll go down here and discuss that individually. So if you live in Umpire, if you live in Berg, if you live north of Dirks on 70, especially at the 70 and 278 interchange, you should be sheltered. Or excuse me, this polygon's north of Dirks. I'm so sorry. If you live in Umpire, you need to be sheltered. This does include you. Northern Howard County. If you live in Berg, if you live in Athens, Umpire was hit by a very strong tornado in April of 2018. So somewhat familiar with this area. I'm not real sure why we're doing this stuff with the polygon, but regardless, whatever. Maybe their confidence is high that it completely skips southern Polk County, but this is moving off to the east northeast towards Umpire and Berg, and eventually Athens, Arkansas, which is in Howard County. And then we have our other storm to the south. This warning expires in 8 minutes, but I'm sure they'll continue this circulation between Winthrop and Foreman. Before I dive back down and do more deep dives on these circulations, we're going to do a reset real quick because I'm not looking at the chat, but I know for a fact people are asking about where they live. Okay, so here's your reset. We have a large line of storms here, not really a line, whatever you want to call this, a broken segment of storms, individual supercells that are going to cause problems with time tonight as they move east. So, if you live east of this line, okay, these storms are going to move off to the east-northeast. If you live between these lines, you have a severe weather risk. If storms haven't made it to you yet, that severe weather risk is maintained. So this includes places like Little Rock, Searcy, Jonesboro, Paragould. We have severe thunderstorms in the far southwestern sections of our state. We have one in far northeastern sections of our state, up near Clay County, near Pocahontas. We have 4 tornado warnings right now. We've got 2 that are north of Conway and 2 that are southwest of Little Rock in the far southwestern sections of our state. And then we have more developments here in central Arkansas that I'm watching. These storms that are near Fort Smith and are pushing to the east-northeast are not severe, but they will be noisy when they move through. They just moved over my house about 30 to 45 minutes ago. There's a lot of lightning. There might be some hail in them. I think the tornado risk isn't incredibly high with this complex, but Frankie Shepard just texted me and said that he can see a wall cloud on the southern storm. I don't know if he's talking about the Conway storm, this one that has the large hook here, or if he's talking about the storm to the north. I'm sure he's talking about this one. This one doesn't pop to the eye very much. It looks like it's dying, but these 2 storms up here, though, are certainly worth watching. It looks to me like the circulation just crossed Highway 65. This one. Just crossed Highway 65 between Leslie and Clinton and just passed over where Botkenberg is. And this is going to head up towards 56. For those of you who live in 56 up in Stone County, points in between west of Mountain View, you know what it's like to deal with stuff like this. This area was just hit by strong tornadoes less than a month ago. So I shouldn't have to encourage you much to take shelter because you know what these storms can do. If you live on Highway 66 west of Mountain View, if you live near Timbo, if you live near or southwest of 56, you should be sheltered. If you live north of Timbo, you should be sheltered. This is moving off to the east-northeast. We're going to go back down to our southwest Arkansas storms, but we've got to touch on the tornado warning in northeast Arkansas now too. Sorry guys, I've got multiple tornado warnings on the board right now, and it's easy to get lost in the sauce here. This is for northern sections of Randolph County with a circulation near Maynard. So if you live near Maynard, if you live north of Maynard near the Missouri border, you should be sheltered. This is going to pass very close to you. This is a smaller supercell. It's not very widespread, but it's an intense storm with could have some large hail in it as well. as well. I don't remember the name of the highway that runs out of Maynard to the Missouri border, but if you live there, if you live really specifically in this area, you need to be sheltered because you could have a tornado moving into your location at any time. So Frankie Shepard just sent me a photo of the wall cloud on the storm. It does not have a tornado warning on it. But there's a very large wall cloud on the storm here south of Plumerville. Wow. I'll show you guys this photo. So this is the storm that you're looking at now on the radar. It does not have a tornado warning at this time. This is just north of Bigelow, south of Plumerville, so south of I-40. This is Frankie's view of that storm. I mean, there's a clear wall cloud here. It's a very dangerous storm. Like I said, there's no tornado warning on it, so we'll see what the National Weather Service does with that report. But just for future reference sake, I'll have to keep an eye on that one. We'll touch on this one real quick before we go back down to southwest Arkansas and touch on Sevier, Little River, and Howard County. This circulation is continuing off to the east-northeast. It's just southwest of Leslie, moving off to the east-northeast. 56, you need to be sheltered. If you live west of Mountain View, you need to be sheltered. Storms that are moving through west central Arkansas near Fort Smith and points to the east. You have no tornado warnings. It's just a bunch of grumpy storms. It looks like they warned our south storm. We'll go back to that in just a second. We were just talking about it. I want to touch on these two before I go back up to the northeast because it's going to get real easy to get lost when we get multiple tornado warnings this evening. I don't want to focus on one for too awful long. So circulation here near Winthrop and Foreman's moving off to the east-northeast. If you live in Howard County, if you live near Dirks, Nashville, Mineral Springs, Locksburg, or Ben Lomond, you need to be sheltered. Okay, so a large chunk of Little River, Howard, and a small section of northern Hempstead County. That does not include Hope, Oak Haven, or Washington, just far northwestern sections of the county close to Nashville. So once again, Little River, a large chunk of Sevier, Howard County. This does include Nashville, Locksburg, and Dirks. You need to be sheltered due to two distinct circulations. Texarkana, we've got confirmed tornadoes to our southwest that we're going to have to watch close here over the next 30 to 45 minutes. We have a new tornado warning. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 warnings, I think, on the board in total. It's an extremely dangerous storm here west of Conway. Hard to get a good look at it on the radar velocity, but it's going to be crossing I-40 soon. It's headed for Menifee, Plumerville, Greenbrier, Wooster, Twin Groves, and Guy. I'm going to check on Zach and Frankie. Zach Hardcastle and Frankie Shepard, two good friends of mine. Storm chasing today, working together, trying to relay reports. That is not what I was trying to pull up. Looks like they have a new live. We'll pull this up here and see if we can get a look at this storm. I don't know if this is it. I'm guessing this is, it has to be it. So this might be our storm that's near Menifee that was producing the wall cloud earlier. And I'm sure Zach and Frankie are likely to the east-northeast of that storm and allowing it to drift their location. So don't see anything imminent on that feed. We'll check back in with Zach and Frankie here in a little bit. Zoom out and make sure I'm not missing anything. We do have a tornado warning here that's north of Pocahontas. And this is moving off to the north near Maynard. The circulation is about to cross into Missouri, so we can soon hand this off to Missouri and not worry about it. Let's zoom back out. That storm might have large hail in it as well. We've got 3 distinct tornado warnings here in central and north central Arkansas. One here that includes Conway County and Faulkner County. Does not include at this time the city of Conway. It could in future updates, but for now it just includes Plumerville, Menifee, Wooster, Greenbrier, Twin Groves, Guy, and eventually Damascus. And then our other circulations here to the north. They will likely cancel the tornado warning here near Clinton and maintain the one to the north, I would guess, for the circulation here that's southwest of Leslie. And this includes areas west of Mountain View up to 56, Timbo, I really wish I could drink some coffee right now. So, this is what we're dealing with right now, guys. We're really kind of just getting started. Things have kind of heated up over the last 30 minutes. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tornado warnings at this time. We're going to have more through the evening. I'm not really sure how this is going to evolve. We haven't had a ton of open warm sector development instead of this. This stuff looks like it's struggling a little bit, which is a great sign. So we'll see how this evolves here in southwest Arkansas and north central Arkansas. These thunderstorms down here are extremely dangerous, especially the one here in northeast Texas near Mount Pleasant. You can see a large hook wrapping into this one. This one has a confirmed tornado on it. So I want to make sure everyone's well aware of that near Texarkana, New Boston, Texas, Ashdown, Miller, Hempstead, Little River County. We have a very intense storm to your southwest that will be here soon. We also have these circulations here, 2 polygons, with a main emphasis on the one here getting close to Ben Lomond, and then one here near Gillum. I want to reiterate and make this very clear. If you live in Locksburg, Ben Lomond, Mineral Springs, Dirks, or Nashville, you should be sheltered immediately. You have a supercell moving your way that could be producing a tornado at any time. We have a tornado warning in Randolph County that is about to cross the border. So we can all wave, collective wave to this one, as it's out of our lives forever here very soon as it crosses the Missouri border towards Doniphan and Naylor, Missouri. The worst of that, I think, is going to stay north of Maynard and west of Success. Looks like we have a new tornado warning for this supercell that is west of Heber Springs and south of Shirley. The circulation is southeast of Clinton as well. So your circulation's here. Okay. If you live in Fairfield Bay, if you live in Higdon, you need to be sheltered. We'll look at a map here and we'll go over some more specifics. Okay, if you live in Greer's Ferry, you should be sheltered. If you live anywhere near Greer's Ferry Lake, you should be sheltered due to the circulation that's to your southwest. If you live in Sulphur Springs, not the Sulphur Springs in northwest Arkansas, but the one that's north of Damascus. This circulation is fairly close to B Branch. 92 runs all the way from B Branch through Sulphur Springs to Greer's Ferry. If you live anywhere on Highway 92, like you're going to Greer's Ferry, you have a circulation that could be producing a tornado at any time right above you. Of course, we already touched on it, but Fairfield Bay. Heber Springs is not in the warning polygon. Heber Springs is down here. The polygon goes out into southern sections of Stone County. and includes a large chunk of north central and northwestern Cleburne County. If you live in Brewer, Parma, Woodrow, if you live in northern regions of Greers Ferry Lake, you should be sheltered. As far as the warning polygon going into southern Stone County, if you live in Woodrow, I would even say over to Drasco, I'd be watching real close on this storm. You'd be sheltered. Getting busy, guys. Got multiple warnings to deal with here. No tornado warning in Van Buren. I'm not sure what he's talking about. The sirens could be going off in Conway due to county-based sirens because parts of Faulkner County is included. This storm looks like it's dying. So the warning for Menifee, Worcester, Greenbrier, Guy, and Damascus, so northern Conway County and northern sections of Faulkner County, eastern sections of Conway County. This storm looks like it's on a downtrend, so great sign there. The sirens might be going off in Conway, or Valonia, or Mayflower, or Holland, Enola, but the polygon is only for sections of your county. So you can tell your daughter, whoever made the comment about the Conway sirens, you should be good to go. Get warnings like crazy on my phone. So we're getting new tornado warnings down to the south, or at least extension warnings. We'll go check that. It's still the same, maybe just a continuation report getting sent to my phone. Dirks, it's about to get noisy in town. Same with Locksburg and Ben Lomond, eventually Mineral Springs and Nashville. Those storms are headed your way, and there are tornado warnings there too. Right here, you can see the circulation moving off to the east-northeast. I wouldn't, if you live in Nashville or Mineral Springs or maybe even Dirks, I know someone in that area is probably outside trying to see the tornadoes, but I can guarantee you're probably not seeing a whole lot. There's a lot of rain involved, well ahead of the circulation. I just want to reiterate that the circulation in northern Arkansas and Randolph County is moving into Missouri and out of our state. Check some reports on my phone. We should also note that this storm right here, this just went through Clarksville, is eventually going to impact London, Dover, Russellville, Dardanelle. As it moves off to the east-northeast, you're going to have sections of this storm passing to the east-northeast where wind gusts are probably the main concern there rather than a tornado risk. This stuff up here is messy. I think flooding is the biggest concern up here rather than any tornadoes. In fact, the severe weather risk near Fort Smith, Greenwood, up to northwest Arkansas is low to non-existent now. So great news. Really want everyone in Locksburg, Mineral Springs, and Nashville to be sheltered. So a large chunk of Howard County. We're going to keep watching this storm in northeast Texas here. Still has a confirmed tornado warning tag on it. That's eventually going to be impacting southwest Arkansas. We'll look at these tornado warnings here. They're Clinton, Fairfield Bay, Shirley. Circulation is going to pass pretty close to Fairfield Bay, it appears. The circulation that spawned the tornado warning earlier north of Clinton is now moving off towards 56. It's not as apparent as it was earlier. So, they still have a warning up for Clinton. There's still a polygon that includes the city of Clinton. We'll see if they cancel that soon. It expires in 17 minutes. It has quite a bit of time. And then we still have a warning polygon up that includes Damascus, Guy, Greenbrier, Worcester. Does not include Morrilton. Someone was commenting about Morrilton. It does not include it. Somebody just commented about Clarksville. It's just noisy in Clarksville. No tornadoes in Clarksville. Just nasty storms moving through. Clarksville, Knoxville, Coal Hill. It does look like they've extended a severe thunderstorm warning out to include sections of Pike County, specifically Glenwood, southern sections of Montgomery County. It does include Norman and far southeastern sections of Polk County. So if you live in the areas that we just talked about, you're going to get this here as it moves off to the east-northeast. Could have some hail in it, really strong rain, could have some stronger winds, heavy rain, and quite a bit of lightning. The tornado warning emphasis is still down here by Locksburg, Mineral Springs, and Nashville, passing through Ben Lomond now by Wilton, Winthrop, and Foreman. Looks like there's a tornado warning here in western sections of Scott County. So this does not include Sebastian County, but it does include far western sections of Logan County. This isn't too far from my house, guys. It's quite a way, well, not super close, but the circulation is here. Looked like it was a little bit stronger a couple scans ago. So this is just west of Waldron in Scott County. Sirens are probably going off in Waldron. Scott County is a pretty rural county in general, but this is a pretty good looking supercell. I mean, heads up on this Logan County if this stays together. We'll look at some maps on this real quick. Waldron, if you take Highway 28 out of Waldron and you head over to Oliver, Cawthron, and Bates, this is for you. They're north of Waldron at the Highway 71 and Highway 23 intersection, so Elm Park. That polygon technically doesn't include that area. If you live in Mansfield, technically the warning polygon includes some of you. I know Mansfield's kind of on that Sebastian-Scott County line, but the circulation itself is located back in here, and this is moving off to the northeast at, I don't know what the speed is. 40 miles an hour. So this could eventually impact western sections of Logan County, and I suppose far eastern sections of Sebastian County near the Logan County line if it does maintain. So something to watch. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, technically 6 tornado warnings right now. Looks like they canceled the warning for 56 parts of Stone County. They have maintained the warning for the Greenbrier storm, but folks, this thing is dead. Unless it re-intensifies in a matter of moments, I would imagine the National Weather Service is going to cancel this tornado warning fairly soon, unless it's just, I don't know. Far more impressive storms to me up here near Clinton, Fairfield Bay, and Shirley, with a stronger circulation center here near Shirley and Fairfield Bay. If you're in Shirley, Fairfield Bay, if you live near Goose Ferry, you should be sheltered. This looks like it's trying to merge. The tornado warning in northeast Arkansas has been canceled. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning for the storm that just passed through Clarksville. And this is headed off for the east towards London, Dover, Hector, and so on. Brandon, it hasn't even made it to you, brother. All the action's on the other side of the state. We just had a tornado warning in northeast Arkansas a few minutes ago. So, no, Boonville's not under the tornado warning, but the warning polygon has caught a far western section of Logan County. So the sirens might be going off in Boonville, Paris, Subiaco, Coxville. But the polygon only includes far western sections of the county. Boonville's not included yet. So if the sirens are going off in parts of southern Sebastian County near Mansfield, part of Mansfield looks like it's included, but the western half isn't. It's one of those on-the-line kind of things. The circulation would be located here in far western sections of Scott County. So west of Waldron, the sirens might be going off in Waldron too, due to Scott County-based sirens, but the actual circulation in the polygon itself only includes western sections. We'll see how the National Weather Service handles this downstream. It looks like it's drifting east-north. This is a pretty impressive-looking supercell. I'm pretty surprised that we had a development this far north and west, but I guess it makes sense with that boundary kind of draped around Fort Smith and east. Yeah, Scott County, parts of Scott County has a tornado warning. Strong wind gusts are likely here for northern Pope County, Johnson County, eventually Newton County, and perhaps Van Buren County with time if this severe thunderstorm continues off to the east-northeast. Let's switch back out of Little Rock and look at this storm here in central Arkansas. Like I said a few minutes ago, I'm hoping the National Weather Service can cancel this warning soon. That circulation is still focused there between Shirley and Fairfield Bay. We're watching the activity here to the west as well. And they just kind of fixed the warning polygon on that. This is the only warning in this part of the state. Well, actually, we still have this other warning too. Near Shirley. Fairfield Bay. That's going to continue off to the east-northeast and go into southern sections of Stone County. We haven't talked about the southwest Arkansas storms in a moment. Let's touch on that before we go back to our Scott County storm. Sirens are probably going off in Paris, Boonville, Logan County. Paris is not under a threat at this time, though. The warning is for western Scott County and far western sections of Logan County. Want to make sure everybody in Nashville, Dirks, Mineral Springs is in a shelter. You could have a circulation off to your west, moving east now, east-northeast. We'll touch base on the one here that everyone's commenting about. Paris sirens are going off. Boonville sirens are going off. Folks, there's no tornado warning for those areas. We live in the Stone Age of county-based sirens, which is kind of ridiculous, but the circulation is here in western sections of Scott County, so west of Waldron. Waldron is not included in the warning. Boonville, you're not included. Magazine, Coxville, Paris, Subiaco. The only reason the sirens are going off in Boonville or Paris is because this section of the county has a tornado warning. This little section, small square mileage area. So that's why the sirens are going off. We'll see how they handle this. We could have additional warnings that includes those areas we just talked about, but for now, you're not under a warning. in Boonville, Paris, Coxville, and so on. Giving everybody a little bit of a reset. We have storms all over the place. We have severe thunderstorm warnings all over the place, and we have tornado warnings all over the place. So things are getting busy. We've got 5 tornado warnings as of it's 5:51 p.m. We have severe thunderstorm warnings as well. We've just touched on the Southwest Arkansas storms, the one near Waldron. We'll zoom back in here on the Stone County warnings. And this does include, once again, they have reissued this area. This does include 56. It includes Mountain View, Ewan. I think that's how you say that. It does include places like Timbo. It includes most of Stone County. So if you live in Stone County, there's a good chance you're set to be impacted by the circulation involved here. So just a heads up, if the sirens are going off, you're getting warnings on your phone, you live in Stone County, specifically near Mountain View 56, you should be sheltered. The tornado warning in northeast Arkansas near Pocahontas and Maynard has been canceled for around 10 minutes or so. Texarkana is not under a tornado warning. I saw somebody comment about Texarkana. But you do have a storm to your southwest here. We're going to look at that real quick. In northeast Texas, near Naples, Hughes Springs, and southwest of Maud, Texas, that could eventually impact Texarkana and points north. And then we have our storms here near Locksburg, Mineral Springs, Nashville, and Dirks. You should be sheltered if you live in this area. Severe thunderstorm warning that extends out into Pike County, southwestern Montgomery, southeastern Polk County. And then our lone tornado warning in Scott County and far western Logan County. I don't imagine this warning, I don't know, had kind of a neat look to it on reflectivity a few moments ago, right there. But it's either cycling or struggling one. Getting reports of hail in northwest Arkansas, specifically around Lincoln, very small hail. I want to reiterate, if the sirens are going off in Paris or Boonville, very small section of Logan County involved. The sirens are going off in Waldron. The polygon does not include you. Somebody said the sirens are going off in Mountain Home. I see why. We'll talk about it. Folks, man, we got to get away from this. So there is a very small section of Baxter County right here. If you live in Mountain Home's way up here. Mountain Home is right here. This section of Baxter County is included. That small. And the sirens are going off in Mountain Home because of it. Mountain Home, as of 5:54 p.m., is not included in that warning. Okay? This is a Stone County problem for the time being. We'll see how that evolves with time. But if the sirens are going off and you live in Baxter County and you don't live anywhere near Big Flat, this is of no concern to you in the short term. We'll see how that goes moving forward. But this is a dangerous storm that's headed right for Mountain View, 56, and Timbo. If you live in Scott County, you should certainly be sheltered. If you live in Izard County, the sirens are probably going off in spots too. So if you live in Calico Rock, if you live in Pineville, if you live in Melbourne, if you live in Mount Pleasant, the sirens could be going off there because of the polygon extending into southern sections of your county. But I want to reiterate, the main bulk of the warning polygon is for northeastern sections of Van Buren, northwestern sections of Cleburne, and a large chunk of Stone County. Let's check on our Southwest Arkansas warnings. This storm doesn't look as tornadic as it did earlier. There's still a warning up for Mineral Springs, Nashville, Dirks, so remain sheltered. I would expect the polygon to the north to eventually expire. There's a lot of lightning in this storm, though. It's still a dangerous storm, but... And then we'll touch on our western Arkansas tornado warning, too. A little something there. They've really shaved this warning down. It does not include sections of Logan County now. So if the sirens are still going off in Logan County and Boonville or Paris, there is no tornado threat. The only concern for a circulation is here west of Waldron and northern sections and northwestern sections of Scott County. It does not include Sebastian County either. You can watch me on your TV if you have a smart TV. I'm on YouTube and Facebook. You can cast it to your TV. Yeah, Laura, the sirens are going off in Baxter County, but it's not impacting Baxter right now. Very small part, so no concern in Mountain Home for now. Sirens are going off in Mansfield. Really, I can kind of understand why that might be, because Mansfield, half the county of Mansfield is in Scott County and in Sebastian County, so I could see why that might be happening, but Mansfield is no longer in the tornado warning polygon. Johnson County, it's just storming. Severe thunderstorm moving through, no tornado warnings. Mount Olive is not. Someone commented and asked about Mount Olive. And the warning does not include Mount Olive at this time, which is in... Mount Olive is kind of like right on the line of Stone and Izard County, but you're not included in the polygon at this time. Polygon extends out to here from Big Flat over to north of Ewan. This looks messy. Everything looks messy right now, which is great. Not complaining, but everything that we've had today has been super messy, unorganized. It's like it wants to do things. It wants to produce tornadoes, but it's not. And man, I am just so thankful that we've dealt with this like this so far. It's 6 p.m. now. If we could go another 2 or 3 hours like this, man, we will be in great shape. Great shape. But that's a lot to ask for, because we got a lot of storms to deal with here in western Arkansas that's going to move through a large part of the state. Hopefully it's a big blob of nothing. I'm sick and tired of this. I know everyone else is too. Mountain View, you need to be sheltered. If you live in and around the town of Mountain View, or near 56, or south of Mount Olive, or if you live in Ewan, you should be sheltered. You have a possible tornado to your south now. Northwest Arkansas is good. The severe weather risk in Northwest Arkansas today was very low. Baxter County, really, there's not a whole lot going on in Baxter County right now. There's some storms to your west that will be moving in soon, to your west-southwest. I know the sirens are going off in Mountain Home, someone said, but Mountain Home's not under a tornado warning right now. And checking on our southwest Arkansas storms, we'll really have to watch this one with time. It gets closer to Texarkana. I just don't see much with this. This looks like a big blob of nasty, and that's about it. The circulation, or excuse me, the tornado warning is still up, though, for Nashville, Mineral Springs, Dirks, as it moves off to the east-northeast. Passing through Locksburg now. So Howard, a section of severe in Little River County. Really, the emphasis now, though, is here in Howard County and far northwestern sections of Hempstead County. Mount Olive is not technically in the tornado warning yet, but if you want to take shelter in Mount Olive, there's no shame in that, as the polygon is literally right on your doorstep. Circulation is well to your southwest, but it could be on you pretty quick. Sirens. A lot of people commenting about sirens in Mountain Home. I wish we would do away with the county-based sirens, which I don't know. Maybe there's just not a way to do that. Folks, once again, if you live in Baxter County, if you live in Gassville, if you live in Salesville, Norfolk, Mountain Home, and the sirens are going off, the reason why is because there's a little chunk of Baxter County included. Mountain Home's not in the polygon. You have storms headed your way in Mountain Home from the west-southwest, but you're not under a tornado warning. Dalton says an update for Atkins. Yeah, Atkins is down here near Russellville off I-40. A lot of thunderstorm activity to your west-southwest that's headed your way here over the next couple of hours. So I'm getting new tornado warnings on my phone from the National Weather Service. We'll look at that here in just a second. Let's touch base on our Waldron storm real quick. Make sure we're not missing anything. Nothing there, guys. Just don't see a whole lot. The National Weather Service will likely allow that to expire pretty soon for the tornado warning there northwest of Waldron. The southwest Arkansas storm's still kind of the same. They went ahead. Well, they had issued that earlier. My bad. Do want to say there's southeastern Polk, southwestern Montgomery, and northwestern sections of Pike County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for you. No tornado warning at this time. Mountain View needs to be sheltered. I've said it a couple of times. Might be the most impressive circulation on the board as far as our circulations. A report of a funnel cloud west of Conway earlier. The National Weather Service is suggesting that a strong tornado potential is increasing along the I-30 corridor. That moves well up into north central Arkansas. So basically, like we talked about earlier, this part of the state. Right here. So with time, the little jet's going to increase. These storms are going to continue east with time and encounter better ingredients for severe weather and tornadoes. Folks, my hope was that things so far have been a little messy at times, I feel like, a little unorganized, which is great. But this look, it's 6 o'clock, and we've got, this isn't some big squall line with just a wind threat like we see sometimes here. We have multiple supercells, several. We got another one up in Missouri that just passed over through Arkansas, the one near Mount Olive. The tornado warning in Scott County has been canceled, by the way. This up here is not much to look at. I feel like the severe weather risk near Fort Smith and north is very low to non-existent. But this part of the state, largely untapped. Areas near Little Rock, Hot Springs, Conway, Searcy, Cherry Valley, up to Jonesboro, Batesville, Pine Bluff. I mean, folks, these storms have to go somewhere. These storms could eventually be troublemakers for Arkadelphia, Malvern, Hot Springs, Benton, Little Rock, maybe eventually even Little Rock. Let's focus in on this tornado warning here near Mount Olive. I wonder if Springfield has a better look at this at all. Really want my Mountain View people to be sheltered. You're running out of time. That circulation is going to be heading into town soon, if not now. Mountain View, Timbo, 56, over to Mount Olive, down to Guin. Mount Olive technically not in that polygon, but should be sheltered if you live in those areas. There might be some hail embedded in this as well. Yeah, so had a question about Locksburg. Locksburg is in the thick of it right now, but the worst of this is soon we'll be pushing off to the east. There's still a tornado warning for a large part of Howard County and parts of northern, like extreme northern Hempstead County. But I don't see anything on the velocity that just jumps off the screen at me. If you're in Dirks, you're under a tornado warning. You should be sheltered. If you're in Nashville, you should be sheltered. These storms are moving off towards Daisy, Glenwood, Norman, eventually probably Mount Ida, and with time into Garland County. Right now, we really only have 2 notable tornado warnings. So that's good. The one up here, the one down here in southwest Arkansas. Let's check back up on our north central Arkansas storm. I'm a little curious about this one because I feel like this one is north of the boundary, the warm front. But I can check real quick. Yeah, these are kind of like right on the cusp. So these are a little suspect, if you ask me, when it comes to legitimate tornado potential. But with that being said, though, would still take it serious. It's too close to call. It's storming outside of my house, if you can't tell. Circulation's over Mountain View now. I mean, if there was a tornado, it would be over Mountain View as of 6:08 p.m. Using radar scope. Yeah, sirens are probably going off in Nashville still due to this tornado warning down here. Locksburg, Dirks, Mineral Springs. Sirens are probably going off in many spots in that area. Of course. Happy to provide it. Just tired of severe weather, guys. I'm ready for a break. I'm exhausted. I've been sick today. And I'm very, very tired. I'm ready for some rest. I didn't sleep a whole lot last night. It's pretty normal for a big severe weather day. Certainly a circulation, though, near Mountain View. If you live in Mountain View, if you live in Stone County near 56, and if you live in southwestern sections of Izard County near Guin, I certainly want you to be sheltered. Let's see if there's probably not a whole lot of visibility there. Yeah, no. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys. Kaylin, yeah, I don't think there's anything in Wicks right now. Yeah, no, Mina's clear of any warnings for the time being. Plumerville was under a tornado warning earlier, but nothing right now. I mean, literally, there's nothing going on in Plumerville whatsoever. We'll see how that evolves with time. Of course, you have storms off your west, but guys, we really only have 2 distinct warnings. This polygon's kind of oddly shaped. I think this one will be canceled in the next minute. We've got this one here in Stone County and southern sections of Izard County. I'm glad they trimmed it off Baxter County so the sirens would stop going off in Mountain Home, scaring everybody. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm texting my wife and asking if she can make me some coffee because I'm on a struggle bus right now. I'm real curious to see how this evolves over the next hour or two. It's not evolving how I thought it would, or probably anyone else. You know, we have tornado warnings. We've had some severe weather, but storms have formed, attempted to mature, produced tornado warnings at times, but we haven't had anything go crazy yet, which I'm not complaining about. I could care less. If this busted into a million pieces and did nothing, I would sleep like a baby. But I am curious as to what happens here over the next couple of hours with these storms. We've got a big chunk of storms down here. We've got this chunk of storms up here. We've got this. In this part of the state, Little Rock, I mean, over to Jonesboro, Newport, Searcy, Arkadelphia, Risen, Fordyce, Camden. Nothing's happened. There's a lot of instability here. I do wonder if they're, as the system moves through, if storms become a little bit more messy. Is it more just rain producing storms and, the flooding risk goes way up and the tornado risk isn't as high? Does the tornado risk start to go up? I don't know. Be curious to see. I wish everything would just go away. Not that lucky. We're going to have to deal with storms regardless. They canceled the tornado warning in southwest Arkansas, so that's good. And I think they just canceled the other warning too. So as of 6:13 p.m., we are officially tornado warning free. And I am so thankful. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings that we'll talk about. I'll go over those with you guys real quick. Looks like there is a severe thunderstorm warning here in far northwestern Arkansas passing over Rogers and Lowell. And this is likely for stronger wind gusts and hail. We have a severe thunderstorm warning here north of Russellville and northern sections of Pope County, Newton County, and Van Buren County due to stronger wind gusts, probably some hail. We have a severe thunderstorm warning here for Mountain View, Mount Olive, Calico Rock, Melbourne, Horseshoe Bend, Franklin. That goes into southern sections of Fulton County, a large section of Izard County, and Stone County. And then we have a severe thunderstorm warnings, in southwest Arkansas. That includes a large section of Howard, northern sections of Hempstead, Pike, and southern Montgomery County. That is pronounced Guyan. Okay, so it's not Guyan, it's Guyan. Dude, I've learned so many town names the last few days. Palestine, Gamaliel. There was another one. Bono. And now Guyan. A new severe thunderstorm warning extends all the way out to Garland County. So from Glenwood up to Norman, Mount Ida, which is in Montgomery County. The new warning extends this out to Garland, which includes Rockwell, Hot Springs, and Mountain Pine. Folks, regardless if we have tornado warnings, Lepanto. Thanks, Gina. Lepanto. Yeah, it's in northeast Arkansas. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I told everyone that you were checking to see. Oh, wow.
No, you literally had a delivery.
Somebody brought this to the house?
Brett did.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, your coffee's brewing.
Okay.
Also, it's like a war zone out here with golf balls.
Okay. This is my wife, Jordan, for those of you who are curious. Say hello.
Uh,
Tell him I said thanks.
just tell him right now.
Brett, I appreciate it, man. So this is Ghost Energy. Dude, I'm really excited about this. I think I'm gonna drink this first. This lemon lime looks good. No big deal, guys. My next door neighbor I guess he's watching my stream. Brett, shout out. And he just dropped off an energy delivery via my wife. So super appreciative of that. If I can get the lid open. I've been sick today, guys. Throwing up, and it's TMI, but I'm just being honest. I've been really sick today, and I've been napping on and off today, and I'm very, very tired. I don't know if I'm just mentally tired, physically tired, or what the deal is, but just trying to make it. So just to kind of reset you guys, 6:18 p.m., no tornado warnings in Arkansas. Shout out to Arkansas for being chill like that. We'll see if that continues. Probably not. We're probably going to have more tornado warnings, guys. But kind of hard to complain right now, honestly. We have several severe thunderstorm warnings that we'll go over again in depth. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in northwest Arkansas for hail. It's probably going to be hailing in Rogers soon. Prairie Creek, so in Benton County. Yeah, getting reports of a pretty strong storm in Rogers. That looks like hailstorm material in Rogers. We'll see how big that hail size is there in Rogers and Benton County. If you're watching this and you live in that area, be sure to send me a report. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate it. That body armor stuff's good too.
Don't drop that. Anything else? You want some dinner?
I'm good. Thank you.
There's popcorn.
I'm good. I'll get some food in a little bit. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning here near Glenwood, Norman, Mount Ida, so parts of Montgomery, northern Pike, southwestern Garland. So we've got that moving off to the east-northeast. We have a severe thunderstorm warning down here in parts of Howard, Hempstead, Little River, and Sevier County. And then we have a severe thunderstorm warning here in north central Arkansas. Near Mountain View, Mount Olive, Calico Rock, Melbourne, Horseshoe Bend, so parts of Fulton and Stone and Izard County. Cheyenne, how big is the hail in Rogers? I'd be interested to know. Mothball size in Lowell. It's storming at my house too, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder. Didn't think that at 6:18 p.m. I would be focusing in on northwest Arkansas for severe weather, but here we are. Shows you what I know about weather. Weather has a mind of its own. This is the problem here. hail core passing through Rogers. So unfortunately, it does look like our lack of tornado warning streak is over. Oh, we have a new tornado warning. So we'll switch to Little Rock and look at this. That was short-lived. It's okay, though. It's kind of tough to see, judging by that. I wonder if it looks different out of the Shreveport area. Maybe I have to switch to a different tilt or something. But if you live in Mineral Springs, if you live in Nashville, so this includes sections of Hempstead County, so far northwestern Hempstead County. If the sirens are going off in Hope, which they probably are, this does not include Hope. It doesn't include Blevins, McCaskill, Ozan, Washington, Oak Haven. If the sirens are going off in Nashville, there's a good reason there could be a tornado headed into town. Okay. The sirens are probably going off in Mineral Springs, which is in eastern sections of Howard County. Certainly need to be sheltered. There's a lot of lightning involved with this too. I wouldn't be outside. So just check in. Yeah, only tornado warning that we have right now on the board. So we'll focus in on this for a minute and let this pass. We'll read the text from the National Weather Service. And the National Weather Service, that is not the warning I was wanting to look at. The National Weather Service has stated that a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Mineral Springs, so close to Mineral Springs, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. And this goes until 6:45 p.m., so 6:21 p.m. now. Getting a lot of hail reports near northwest Arkansas near Rogers. Yeah, Van Buren's good for now. Yep. I haven't had coffee in a long time. That's pretty good. I don't really drink coffee a whole lot anymore. I think now would be a good time to check social media and see what kind of reports we have. Okay, so Peyton Langford just tweeted a photo in Lowell. Really, it's only around pea-sized hail, so not too big. Yeah, I can check Mountain Home for you. One second. We'll come back to the tornado warning in just a moment. Not much going on in Mountain Home. Just kind of storming. Not even a severe thunderstorm warning. Just rain and lightning. So this is messy. Real messy up here. Northern Arkansas, northwest, north central Arkansas. We need it to stay this way. From Fort Smith to Rogers. We did have some hail reports in Rogers a few moments ago. Fayetteville, Springdale, Huntsville. East to Harrison, Mountain Home, Norfolk, Calico Rock. Pretty messy. Down to Russellville, kind of messy too. Stronger wind gusts are possible. Storms are moving through Hector, Russellville, through the I-40 corridor there. If you're going from Atkins over to Clarksville. Looks like we have a stronger thunderstorm passing over Boonville now. We have a stronger thunderstorm passing over where I live here, south of Fort Smith. I can hear it outside. I think the strongest storms, are down here in southwest Arkansas. And of course, with time, like I've been saying, there's this section of the state. These storms move off to the east, northeast. We'll see what these do. But for now, we only have one tornado warning. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that is mainly for strong winds and hail potential, specifically this hail core in southeastern Montgomery County. That does include sections of Garland County, right on the line for Hot Springs, mainly Rockwell and Mountain Pine. And then our severe thunderstorm warning, a large section of Howard County, Sevier County, Little River County, and northern sections of Hempstead County. And our only tornado warning in the state as of 6:24 p.m. is the one for Howard and Hempstead counties. Specifically, Nashville, Mineral Springs does not include the City of Hope. Shout out to the Great American Cookies Company for giving me a cup. Oh, coffee's good. Rachel, I would say that right now things are underperforming. Yes, I would say that right now. Not complaining, but yes, I do think so. Can we maintain that? I don't know. I hope. I really do. I love the trend we're on right now. We've had some problems. We've had tornado warnings. We've had stronger storms. We've had some hail. We've had some stronger wind gusts. But compared to what we dealt with on Wednesday, I'll take it. We got a lot of night left. It's not even 6:30. So no, Conway is still under a tornado watch. You're not under a tornado warning. I think they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Van Buren and Newton County, Van Buren and Searcy County. Yeah, Van Buren and Searcy County. Sections of Stone, and then a large part of Fulton County is circled off, along with Izard and northern Stone County for that warning. And then we've got our tornado warning here near Nashville. So we'll go back down to it and focus on it for the time being. Part of Stone County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, the northern part. LJ, I think we're seeing that now, kind of. Storms are kind of convening, merging, and storms look kind of gross, which is good. I don't want anyone to get their guard down in case things really get going here over the next hour or two, but for now, we're good for now. So yeah, I can't give an all clear for, Little Rock or so. All the thunderstorm activity has been here today, which is an area of the state that was under a higher risk for severe weather. So you can't say, well, it's not, it hasn't reached the higher risk area. It has. But if you live in Little Rock, if you live in Arkadelphia, if you live in Searcy, Batesville, Newport, so on, Jonesboro too, Pocahontas, we still have a lot of thunderstorm activity to push off to the east. So, no, it's not a confirmed warning, I don't think, as far as I know. Just radar indicated. It's moving into Nashville now. Certainly need to be sheltered if you live in Nashville, but I don't have a confirmed tornado tag on that. No, I don't. Jennifer, I have thought for a couple of days that the flooding is more of a concern than the severe weather as far as tornadoes, but then today kind of uptrended to where I thought tornadoes were going to be a big problem. But yeah, no, I think flooding is a big concern for a large part of the state because we're going to have a lot of rain through the rest of the evening. We'll have more rain tomorrow as the system starts to push out. There's no Batesville might get something. Batesville's definitely going to get thunderstorms tonight, yeah. Not saying you're going to get a tornado, but yeah. Yeah, I can look at the storm coming into Texarkana. That's a good point. We should be doing that anyways. So Texarkana is included in this severe thunderstorm warning, and it does look like there's a hail core involved here just south of Redwater, Texas, near Maud, Texas, that could impact areas around Texarkana. This is a pretty dangerous looking storm. This is the one that was producing the confirmed tornadoes earlier. So Texarkana, be on alert for that storm. No tornado warning yet, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning. And we'll see if the National Weather Service extends this tornado warning into Pike County, Murfreesboro, up to Amity. And then eventually, could include Clark County as well. So Arkadelphia, or excuse me, not Arkadelphia, northwestern sections of Clark County. I think that warning would be more so on the north end of that county. So I just got a report that multiple residents in Flippin, Arkansas, which is in northern Arkansas, it's up here in North Arkansas. Flippin is right here. Multiple residents in Flippin along Sunset Street are evacuating due to floodwaters rising out of the creek. So that's just the first of probably many flood-related warnings and issues we're going to deal with due to this system. Millie, I don't have anything right now. No. Jody, it's tough to say. Cabot, my Cabot people, nothing's really happened there yet. But we have storms that are moving off to the east from your southwest and west that will eventually impact you. Audrey says, what's the likelihood of a tornado developing in Independence County? It's difficult to be that specific over a specific county. But you are under a higher risk for severe weather. You've got thunderstorms to your west now. We'll see what develops to your southwest, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I think Baxter County is going to be okay. I think flooding is the biggest concern in Baxter County right now. Yes, there is a tornado risk today for a large part of the state. JB, I don't know if we'll have a whole lot more development in front of the main line as far as supercells. I feel like that kind of sailed. We'll see. I guess it's always possible, but I think we're just going to be stuck dealing with this broken line of storms and supercells along the way. Yeah, I can check on Izard County for you. It's noisy. Storms moving through Izard County now. Melbourne, Franklin, Horseshoe Bend, and Oxford. Lots of lightning, lots of heavy rain. Probably pretty windy at times. But I don't see... Obviously, there's no tornado warnings for this. I think the National Weather Service is more concerned with the heavy rain, the lightning, and wind rather than tornadoes right now in Izard County. There's tornado warnings in southeast Missouri, but that doesn't include Arkansas. Brittany, I think so, yeah. Springdale could still observe, storms, maybe some hail like Rogers did earlier, but the tornado risk in northwest Arkansas is very, very low today. It was always going to be low. Guys, I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't have any capability of telling you if a tornado is going to form in a city in the future. We don't have that kind of technology. I can tell you if there's a risk, a possibility, but I can't tell you a specific city. Let's go back and check on our tornado warning here in southwest Arkansas. We haven't talked about it in a second. It looks like there's a hail core passing over Nashville now. The National Weather Service has extended a severe thunderstorm warning out into Pike County and sections of Clark County. So Murfreesboro, Daisy, Glenwood, Amity, Delight. It does not include Okolana but it does have a sliver of Clark County there for this storm right here moving out of Howard County. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. And then Texarkana, and now it looks like a large section of Miller County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that does include Falk, Garland, sections of Lafayette County. It doesn't include Stamps or Bradley, but if you live in northwestern Lafayette County, the southern half of Miller County, if you live in the city limits of Texarkana, you are likely about to experience a fairly strong storm, and hail is likely. Looking at the reflectivity, it is highlighting what could be a hail core here moving east-northeast towards Texarkana. So just a heads up, if you're in Texarkana, it's probably going to get pretty noisy here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Still have that severe thunderstorm warning in northwest Arkansas for hail. That'll be crossing into Missouri very soon. Aaron, we got a bunch of storms, brother, so I don't know what storm you're talking about losing strength. It's definitely exhausting, yeah. I'm ready for a break. Hopefully after tomorrow we get a good little break. The National Weather Service, I'll show you guys real quick. Tyler, there's no tornado threat in Russellville right now, I don't think. Let me look. Make sure there's nothing popping. This looks like some stronger storms. There's no severe thunderstorm warnings or anything in Russellville. It's probably just pretty noisy. The National Weather Service suggested that the I-30 corridor from Texarkana to Little Rock and then up towards Jonesboro, that the strong tornado threat was increasing. They put out a discussion earlier, around an hour ago. So it is worth noting that they feel that the conditions are still favorable for tornadoes over the next hour or two, specifically from Texarkana to Hope, Arkadelphia, up to Little Rock. We'll see what happens with that, but right now we haven't had a ton of issues. This up here has turned very messy, which is good for us. Not good for tornadoes, but good for us. This down here looks a little bit more organized, stronger, and this is going to move off to the east-northeast with time. So Little Rock, Conway, Searcy, Harrisburg, Jonesboro, Paragould, Stuttgart, Pine Bluff, like, you kind of catch my vibe. This part of the state, folks, if you live east of this line, you haven't had anything today. It hasn't really done anything. And the instability that was once there, we still have some thunderstorm fuel to work with. So unless storms really just have issues with maturing and whatnot, it's something to monitor. Emily, I do not have a tornado warning for that area. No, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm sorry. They might be confused on something, unless I'm just missing something. North Arkansas is only severe thunderstorm warnings at this time. It's 6:39 p.m. The tornado risk tomorrow is in mainly southeast Arkansas, this part of Arkansas. I'll touch more on that later. Crystal, if you're in Scott County, the worst of it is to the east of you now. We had a tornado warning in Scott County earlier, but we're good to go now. I do not use Radar Omega. Too glitchy for me. I don't like the way it looks. It's just too many. Radar Scope is so much easier. Yeah, so wind is kind of in that same boat that we just talked about. Areas east of Little Rock haven't been touched, northeast of Little Rock, so I don't really know. We'll see what happens here over the next couple of hours. Janice says, are we clear in Fort Smith? Yeah, I think so. Fort Smith could still observe thunderstorm activity, but I think the tornado risk in Fort Smith is very, very low. Maybe some hail, if anything. Once we get this warning canceled down here near Nashville, which I think they're going to allow it to expire or cancel it early, we will have no tornado warnings in the state. The storm down here near Texarkana is strong. There's a hail core in this storm. Right here. That's going to be hitting Texarkana soon. I don't know how big the hail is. But this is a stronger storm. If you live in Texarkana, if you live in Miller County in general, the activity is really about to pick up here in the next 20 minutes. I think the one thing that might prevent us from going into a full-on tornado mode here over the next couple of hours is that we could have a capping inversion built in across a large part of the state where there is significant instability or thunderstorm fuel present. So like, for example, here in Little Rock, England, Pine Bluff, this part of the state hasn't been touched today. There's a large amount of thunderstorm fuel that storms, when they move in, they can use. Become severe, produce strong wind gusts, maybe some hail. But as far as the tornado risk goes, it is possible that the instability that we have access to, the surface-based instability, is limited due to a capping inversion, which would prevent widespread tornadoes and more so of just rainmakers and hailmakers and strong wind gusts. That would be, you still have to deal with thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms, but I feel like that would be a victory compared to what we were expecting. I'm going to check on the storm here. Looks like we have a new warning, severe thunderstorm warning, that was just issued for parts of Independence and Sharp counties. Yeah, right here. Cave City, Cushman, Mount Pleasant, Cherokee Village, areas just north of Batesville. Once again, another area that has just been hit with tornadoes within the last month. And I know that you don't like thunderstorms right now, but I don't think there is an imminent tornado concern in Cave City, Cushman, Mount Pleasant, Evening Shade, or anything like that. Man, that body armor is good. I'm glad that Brett brought that over. We only have one tornado warning in the state as of 6:43, and it actually was just canceled. So we are tornado warning free. Going to look at things from a statewide vantage point while we discuss. Kind of resetting. It's right at 6:45, so a good time for a reset. We've had numerous tornado warnings. I don't know if we've actually had any tornadoes yet. I have no confirmation of that occurring. We've had some hail reports. We've had some wind reports. Some of the storms that we're dealing with and have dealt with have been strong. But I like the direction that we're headed in right now. I feel like we are not trending in the worst possible direction, which is a victory. I think that we still have a lot of night to go through. I think the flooding risk is legitimate with training storms tonight and into the overnight. I'm going to check and make sure I'm not missing a report. The biggest concern, I'll show you guys real quick. We can go over it together. to kind of help emphasize the concern for flooding tonight and tomorrow. Sorry guys, my kiddos are in the room next to me, and I've got a 3 and a 7-year-old that love to argue over toys and wrestle and do all that stuff. So this is kind of where we are now. This is just a simulated radar model. As we go through the evening hours, this activity is going to shift to the east. And, you know, at times we might get breaks, but unfortunately, this is at 3 to 4 to 5 a.m. overnight. We're going to have a redevelopment down here. And I unfortunately fear that this is going to cause us, not only could it cause more severe weather issues in this part of Arkansas, you can see the instability down here. This part of the state, there's plenty of thunderstorm fuel to work with tomorrow. The tornado parameters will be there tomorrow. This is tomorrow morning too. But the flood risk is legit as more widespread showers and heavy thunderstorms pass through the region. So the flood risk is legit. Don't know how legit the tornado risk is tomorrow. I haven't looked at Saturday a whole lot because today has been so prolific and as far as the lead up. Yes, yeah, guys. If you're in Fort Smith and Greenwood, you're good. It's storming, but you know we have stuff developing here. But the tornado risk here is you're good. Yeah, I can pull it up. I can show you guys the instability. Let's pull up the instability real quick, and then we'll come back and look at the radar. So this is the look at the surface space instability as of right now. So you can see here, there's a lot of instability to work with. We have storms here, storms up here. These storms north of the boundary in northern, western, northwestern Arkansas have no tornado risk really. It's just hail, strong winds, and that's it. This part of the state will have a tornado risk, but the thing is, I'm seeing some sin built in. And what that is, it's not sin like you hear about at church. It's sin as in convective inhibition, to where thunderstorms there might be an inversion to where surface space instability is applicable to these storms, to where the tornado risk isn't as high. So we'll see. I don't want to contradict what any other weather sources are saying or what the National Weather Service is saying, but sometimes these storms, if they're mature enough, they can punch through that stable layer, still produce tornadoes. So a lot of how abouts right now. How about here? How about here? Let's go over it. This should answer your questions. So if you have a how about question, this is where we're at. So we have thunderstorms ongoing here. If you live west of this line, you have nothing to worry about right now, outside of some stronger storm, hail or something, wind, but like tornado concerns, you're good. If you live east of this line, we just had a tornado warning, so we'll check that in a second. Little Rock, Camden, Pine Bluff, Arkadelphia, England, Searcy, Conway, Jonesboro, Paragould, we still have storms to deal with. So if you live anywhere east of that line, so unless you live near Fort Smith or northwest Arkansas up by Harrison, and maybe far southeast Arkansas due to the system position, you have a risk for severe weather through the afternoon. Well, it's already the afternoon, through this evening and through tonight. So hopefully that answers your questions. We have a new tornado warning that includes northern sections of Independence County. Oh no. And southern sections of Sharp County. Folks, if you live in Cave City, if you live in Cushman, I know that this is scary. Just did the whole EF3 tornado thing a few weeks ago, okay? We'll take it one step at a time and get through this, all right? Looks like somebody, regardless, you're going to get some hail when this storm moves in. So if you live in Cushman, go ahead and prep for that now. The circulation is back in here, still in parts of southeastern Stone County. The warning includes sections of Independence, southern Sharp, southeastern Izard, and eastern Stone counties. If you live in Cushman, if you live in Mount Pleasant, Sydney, Evening Shade, or Cave City, you need to be sheltered. We'll read the text on it and see what the National Weather Service is referencing as far as our speed. So the National Weather Service is referencing this storm 6:49 p.m. located near Croker, 12 miles east of Mountain View, and it's moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. And like I always say, folks, these storms, they're moving northeast at 55. They're moving northeast at 55. That's a pretty solid forward speed. The Cushman city cops ain't pulling them over. State troopers aren't pulling them over. There is no stop signs or stoplights. It's a forward speed. So if you're in Cushman, Cave City, Sydney, Evening Shade, be sheltered. Get sheltered now. Let's let the storm pass, okay? Let me look at... This is the only warning we have, so I'm gonna pull my map up, leave the radar up so you guys can see that. Just a reminder, folks, if you're watching on Facebook, you can turn your phone to the side. It'll enhance the image. Or you can watch on YouTube, and it's just easier to see. The YouTube stream, I think, might be a hair delayed, is why most people watch on Facebook, but I'm also live on X and Twitter, or whatever you want to call it. So, getting a little bit more specific on you, if you live on Highway 69 near Cushman, or Oak Hill Pentecostal Church,